Captain Arsenio, Inventions and Misadventures in Flight by Pablo Bernasconi. The result of looking up. Flight, one of the most ancient wishes ever known, has inspired hundreds of fantastic creations. From Icarus to the Wright brothers, history has seen thousands of adventurers who have felt the dangerous urge to soar with the birds. This passionate impulse has resulted in many failures. Scientists, philosophers, doctors, and even crazy people all have been pioneers of aviation, and each has made a different contribution, sometimes right, sometimes wrong, to the pursuit of flight. This is the story of one such man. Passionate. To have a passionate feeling is to have strong emotions about it. Impulse. An impulse is the desire to do something. Contribution. A person who helps to make something has made a contribution to that work. The end and the beginning. Manuel J. Arsenio was a careless cheese master, blacksmith, scuba diver, and ship captain. Though he was given the easiest of missions in each of these careers, he still couldn't complete any of them successfully. This problem may be the reason he left those jobs behind to enter the distinguished pages of aviation history. One day in 1782, Captain Arsenio decided to build the first in a long series of eccentric projects that would change his life. And although he had little knowledge of physics or mechanics, and had access only to useless materials, he demonstrated great patience and determination throughout the course of his flight experiments. My days of sailing and scuba diving are over. I retire with grace to begin a new stage in my life that will undoubtedly go down in history. I'm going to achieve what has been humanity's desire for centuries. I will build a flying machine. Captain Arsenio, May 1st, 1782.
So for those of you who do not know, this is a quote. Whenever you see them in quotation marks like this, and then it has a person's name underneath it, that is a quote.
The Discovery. How do we know about Captain Arsenio? His diary was found by chance just 1 year ago, under circumstances to be discussed later. In its 90 pages full of doodles, notes, and technical writings, Arsenio developed 18 different designs for a flying machine, each one original, foolish, and fantastic. Here we explore 3 of the 18 most influential projects that have contributed to modern aviation. Captain Arsenio's diary is the oldest and most precious aviation manuscript ever known, second only to Leonardo da Vinci's. Fortunately, the text is still legible, and Arsenio's notes, diagrams, and ideas take us back in time to reveal the hidden mystery of the inventor's thoughts. Why can birds fly and we humans cannot? What cruel destiny stops all people from seeing the world from above, tasting the clouds, and undoing long distances by air? Captain Arsenio, June 7th, 1783. Distinguished. A distinguished group is known and respected for its excellence. Eccentric. Someone who is eccentric is odd. Circumstances. The way an event happened or the causes of it are its circumstances.
Cool fact, June 7th, 1783, June 7th is when Mr. Easter was born. Not in 1783, though. I'm not that old.
Project number 1, Moto Canary. The Moto Canary was an ingenious experiment that demanded a lot of work, Evidently, it was harder for Captain Arsenio to find enough birds and tie them together with a rope than it was to achieve flight. Although the discovery was revolutionary, it took 2 days to get the captain down from the tree in which he was stuck. Carts are dragged along by horses, sleighs by dogs, and plows by bulls. I think that if I concentrate enough birds together, the sustaining force will help me win the clouds. It cannot fail. Captain Arsenio, February 18, 1784. Evidently. If something happened evidently, it happened for an obvious reason.
So notice this is a diagram of his plan of tying himself to birds in order to fly. This is a drawing of him doing that. It's pretty funny, right? But if you think about it, it kind of made sense at the time.
Flight Diary. 1. The selection process is demanding and exhausting. I accept only those who have wings. 2. I start running, and the birds accept the challenge. The glory is mine, mine. 3. My feet leave the ground, and I have control of the height. My bones feel the change. I'm almost another bird. Phase 1, 14 hours. Phase 2, 10 minutes. Phase 3, 4.5 seconds.
So if you notice, they have the phases in the bottom. So this phase of him having his feet leave the ground only lasted 4.5 seconds. The 10-minute mark was how long he took running around with the birds, and it took him 14 hours to make his selection.
Note, as improbable as it appears, this diary shows us that the Moto canary did fly for a few feet before crashing into a tree. Maybe the failure is due to Captain Arsenio's misplaced trust in the unreliable canaries. 4. It seems that, without warning, some of the engines have changed directions. They are not going where I want them to go. 5. The change of direction causes the rope to break. Note to self. Next time, use iron cables instead of woolen rope. I'm headed dangerously close to that tree. 6. The Moto canary needs improvement. A. I must choose more obedient birds. B. I must test the design in a field without any trees. C. I must always carry a ladder with me. Phase 4, 2 seconds. Phase 5, 1 second. Phase 6, total elapsed time, 2 days, 14 hours, 10 minutes, 7.5 seconds.
Let's think about that. So phase 6 was him being stuck in the tree. He said the total elapsed time was 2 days, 14 hours, 10 minutes, 7.5 seconds. So he's saying he was stuck 12 feet in the tree for that much time.
Project number 2, Flying Runner. Good cardiovascular health would become a determining factor in Captain Arsenio's second ambition. The acceleration of the runner would allow, according to his plans, the wings to beat up and down in imitation of a bird's flight and lift the machine off the ground. The direction control is unknown. I can leave the ground by the effort of an energetic run transferred to the little wings and multiplied 30 times by the transfer pulleys. Running plus wings is equal to access to heaven. It cannot fail. Captain Arsenio, March 23, 1785. Acceleration. Acceleration is the act of moving faster. Flight diary. 1. Countdown to 0. I'm preparing for the big run. I've got faith. 2. I start the acceleration, and the wings seem to be in working order, but I'm not elevating yet. 3. The machine starts to rise at maximum speed. I'm starting to get very tired. 4. All systems go. The balance is controlled. The prototype is a success. Up until this point. Prototype. A prototype is a rough model created to test something before creating it in its final form. Phase 1. At rest. Phase 2. 21 minutes. Phase 3. 47 seconds. Phase 4. 1 minute. Note: the reader may notice that there are significant differences between what is written and what actually happened. This may be due to Captain Arsenio's unflagging optimism, or the many bumps on the head that he suffered from his experiments. 5. I hear some strange noises. They come from the pulleys. 6. There seems to be a small problem. 7. Yes, there's a tiny problem, but I have it under control. I will land now. 8. I need to call a doctor. Phase 5. 2 seconds. Phase 6. 17 seconds. Phase 7. 30 seconds. Phase 8. Total elapsed time. 23 minutes, 36 seconds.
So one thing I like to point out is, you notice they have all these lines coming across. If you follow the line over, it'll tell you some more information, such as moment of fall was 15 feet, meaning he was 15 feet in the air. They also have this one here. This is danger moment. This is where it stopped going really well and started going really bad.
Project number 3. Corkscrew tourists. No one knows what was going through Captain Arsenio's mind when he conceived of this contraption. What we do know is that he placed so much emphasis on getting off the ground that he forgot a substantial part of the matter: how to keep himself in the air. Obvious results. All past propelling mechanisms were wrong. I need to find a way to beat gravity, despite my generous weight. The compression of 2 metal springs should do the trick. I anticipate a big leap, but I will put little wings on my back, just in case. It cannot fail. Captain Arsenio, November 15th, 1785. Conceived. If you thought of the idea to create something, you conceived it. Flight diary. 1. Everything is ready for takeoff. The jump is possible. 2. I start the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3. Oh, the acceleration is violent, and I've conquered gravity without any problems. Phase 1. At rest. Phase 2. 10 seconds. Phase 3. 3.5 seconds. Note: this document is the only one of its kind. There is no other recorded data of a person surviving such a fall, either before or since. 4. I've already passed through the clouds. I start the controlled descent. 5. Now it is time for the wings. 6. Descent is completely under control, although the wings do not respond as I had expected. 7. The doctor is not at home. I will call the veterinarian. Phase 4, 1 minute. Phase 5, 1 second. Phase 6, 7.25 seconds. Phase 7, total elapsed time, 1 minute, 21.75 seconds. Goodbye from below. As it happens with almost all legends, multiple versions contradict one another, proof disappears, and word of mouth constructs stories that differ greatly from the reality. No one knows for certain exactly what happened to Captain Arsenio and his flying machines. All that is left is his diary, 90 pages of consecutive failures, and one big question. Did he eventually succeed? Some say that Arsenio's book was buried near Cairo, Egypt, 7,508 miles away from where he lived in Patagonia, Argentina. Others disagree and tell us it was in a chest at the bottom of the sea, buried under a pile of rusty metal junk. But most people insist with determination that Captain Arsenio's diary was found on the surface of the moon on July 20th, 1969. Many years have passed since that first Moto canary. Although I have failed many times, I have learned so much. And today, for the first time, I am sure that this new machine I have developed is going to work. I deserve a piece of heaven, and I am going for it. Captain Arsenio, December 6, 1789.